Hey y'all, welcome to the Fill-In Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could, please like, share, subscribe. Y'all, we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at Tesla, and as you can see, y'all, we closed at 328.49, and I say it so often, Tesla does what Tesla does, right? So we have a pre-market low of 325.50 here. Now, where are the trouble places back to the upside? It looks as if we were getting rejected at this ATR trailing stopper, the 329.68 area. Y'all see I have this level here of 329.81. That was a rejection area for us. Now, where are the trouble places? So back to the upside, we would need to clear this 329.81. We could possibly have trouble again, 330.68. Here at 330.66, let's rephrase that. We could possibly have trouble 330.38, 330.66, and here at 330.83, not very far away. Let's see if we can, yeah. And there's a few layers of resistance there. So let's say up to the 330.104. Breaking that brings us back to around this level here of 331.39. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble 331.99. 332.34 could be a resistance area for us, and if we should break that area of 332.34, yeah, I gotta get those numbers right today. Breaking that level brings us back to around 332.58. There's a lot of resistance, in this area. Should we break this 332.58, we could possibly have trouble again. 332.99 for Tesla. Breaking that brings us back to the 333.78. 334.28, and breaking that 334.28 area, we could possibly have trouble 334.77, 335.15. Now back to the downside, let's say we break under this level here of 329.02, we could possibly have trouble 328.66 and 328.35. Y'all see the 50 EMA is right there at a level that I have marked. That's very important, right? I say that often, that we mark our levels of support and resistance. So that 328.35, breaking that, we could come back to 328.06, and it kind of puts us back in this area here. So breaking that brings us back to 327.79, and again at 327.44. There's a few layers of support here down to the 327.23. Now breaking that level, 326.85, and again here at 326.42. breaking that brings us back to this level of 326.12, and breaking that brings us back to 325.66. Now breaking that 325.66, which is this low, around this low here, we could very well come back to the 325.34 or 325.36, which kind of puts us right where we were at this low. Let me say that, right? So if you're trading Tesla today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. Again, y'all, not financial advice, right? We are now looking at this SPY. We closed at 628.77, and y'all saw the high we made on yesterday of the 631.54. So is it setting us up to go continue higher or to decline? That's why it's so important that we just trade what we see, right? So where are the trouble places as of now? 629.14, right? Breaking that level, we could possibly have trouble. ATR trailing stop 629.47, but y'all see it's right at a level that I have marked at the 629.48. Very close, right? So if we should break this area, 629.80, and again 630.36, breaking that 630.77, and should we break that level, 631.25, breaking that brings us back to 631.54. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under this level here of 628.79. There's a few layers of support, 5 EMA, 50 EMA, and a level that I have marked here. Breaking that 628.79 for the SPY, we could very well come back to 628.40, and breaking that, we could possibly come back to this level around the 620.806, which is here. If we should break that, we could possibly have trouble again, 627.89. Now breaking that, we see the 200 EMA is right at this level that I have marked at the 627.43, 627.45 area. That could be a strong area of support. Now breaking that, we have 627.27, breaking that level, 626.85. And should we break that, 626.51, breaking that 626.30 could be a support area for the SPY. So if the SPY is something that you trade, I said often, y'all, trade carefully, and once it goes against your why, get out. I say live to trade another day, right? So we are now looking at AMD. We closed at 157. We have a pre-market low of 154.52. Where are the trouble places? As of now, the 156.18 could be a resistance area. Again, at the 156.39, the ATR trailing stop, in my opinion, that's a strong area of resistance or support, right? In this case, it is resistance. Now, should we break this level here, we could very well, I need to remove that. Should we break this level of 156.39, we could possibly use the 50 or EMA and the 200 EMA around the 156.68, which is not far from a level of 156.75. So in my opinion, this could be a strong area of resistance for AMD up to the 156.75. Breaking that, 157 could be a rejection area. Should we break that, 157.31, 157.60, 158.23, 158.50, 159.18, and 159.52, breaking that 159.87. Those are possible areas of rejection, right, for AMD. Now to the downside, let's say we break under the 155.82, we could possibly find support 155.54, and under that level 155.10. Should we break that 154.84, and breaking that brings us back to the 154.54. Now breaking that level, we could possibly come back to 154.02, and breaking that 153.65, 153.31, 152.98, and again 152.64. Those are areas of support. Breaking that level, 152.14. So if AMD is something that you trade today, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully, because in this market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So we are now looking at Meta. We closed at 712.96, and as you can see, we back here at the 717.04, 717 area. Is this going to give us a double top? That's something to be mindful of, right? So I said often, y'all, mark your levels, y'all, and trade what you see, right? So we are again, where are the trouble places? I need to get that right. 717 could be another rejection area for us, breaking that 718.63, and should we break that level, 720, breaking that 720 for Meta today, 722.15, 722.93, 723.81, breaking that 723.81 area. We could possibly have trouble, 725.46. Those are possible areas of rejection. Now to the downside, 715.58, should we break that area, 714.77 could be a support area. Y'all see the ATR trailing stop that's forming at the 713.91. That could hold us up or be a support area. 713.46, again here at 712.86, right at this 50 EMA and a level that I have marked. I just like seeing that, y'all. So should we break this 712.86, we could possibly have trouble again or support at 712.03, and again here at 711.27, breaking that 709.86, which is that 200 EMA, not very far from a level that we have marked. Should we break that level for AMD today, 708.77? Now breaking that, we could possibly come back to the 706.42 area, which is here. So if AMD is something that you trade, or Meta, I just said here, if Meta is something that you trade today, y'all, I say it often, trade carefully. Why? Because in this market, anything is possible. We are now looking at NVDA. NVIDIA, we closed at 171.38. And we have a pre-market low here of 169.04. I need to remember this area here. Where are the trouble places for NVIDIA as of now? 170.92. We can use our moving averages, the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA at 171.10, 171.27. Those could be possible rejection areas. Again, if we break that 171.45 and breaking the 171.45 area, 171.96, breaking that for NVIDIA. 172.35, breaking that 172.57, 172.84, 173.48, breaking that 173.48. We could very well have trouble around 174.18, but keep in mind we could very well get stopped out in this area here for NVIDIA. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Now to the downside, losing the area of support here at the 169.88, we can come back to the 169.07, breaking that level, 167.89, 167.37, 166.52, and breaking that level here at 166 or 165.97, breaking that 165.16. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade today, y'all, I said often trade carefully. We do have a few inside day candles, and y'all know I just like to give the trigger to that, meaning if we break above this level, this is the possible target, or if we break under this level, this is our possible target. Now to the upside for Carvana, CVNA, if we break the 346.21, upside target today is 350. Under the 338.62, downside target today for Carvana is 336.73. CVNA is an inside day candle. So CVX is also an inside day candle for today. Let's say we break above the 151.75. Let me remove that. If we break above the 151.75 for CVX, we have an upside target of the 156 area. Now if we break under this level of 149.10, downside target today for CVX is 146.53. So if CVX is something that you trade today, I say mark your levels, and once it goes against your Y, get out. Disney DIS is also an inside day candle for today. Above this level 121.99, we have an upside target of 122.17. Now to the downside, which we've broken through that 120.78, downside target was the 120.28. So we're very close to that downside target pre-market. Does that mean we cannot continue declining? It does not. It just means we need to mark our levels and trade carefully. Marvell, MRVL, is also an inside day candle. Let's say above this level 73.59, upside target 75.29. To the downside, under 72.18, downside target 71.11. And y'all see that Marvell is normal. It's just moving sideways, so it could move in either direction. Let's go see how much per day that Marvell normally moves. About $2.78. Keep in mind, y'all, that is the ATR, which is the average true range, and it could move that in either direction. Let me say that right. So if Marvell is something that you trade today, I said often trade carefully. So I'm going to go back to the SPY just to see where we are. Still again having trouble at that area that we have marked at the 629.14. So that is the resistance area as of now. Again, not financial advice. Let's look at Tesla again. Still having trouble right at that ATR trailing stop, which is our area of rejection here. So that is something to be mindful of if Tesla is something that you trade. Y'all, this is what I see when I look at the market. There's so many different ways to trade. I say that often, and what's challenging is what, trying to find that strategy or, the plan that works best for you, and making sure you have the discipline to execute your plan, y'all. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.